Merry Christmas, everybody. From our house to your house. It may be 80 degrees outside, but it is still Christmas inside. Hi, friends. This is Anmaree from Anmaree's Workshop, and I bet you're wondering what you can do with all of those wonderful scraps that you have from this year. What can I make with it? Well, this is a scrappy Christmas video. Now, these scraps are left over from those wonderful aprons I made this year, and I had enough left to make a few pot holders. So the first thing I had to do was find a wonderful backing, and you see this beautiful ornament print that I have left over, another scrap. So what I did was match up the sizes, and I pretty much decided I wanted to make them a square, or at least a square with rounded edges. And so I lined them up, and then I used my rotary cutter to cut them so that the top matches the bottom. Now I ordered this Insul-Bright off of Amazon because I know that when you're making pot holders or things that are sensitive to heat, you have to have some kind of filling on the inside that will protect your hands. So, so far, this has been working really well. It's easy to work with, and it helps protect your hands from the heat. So all I did now was cut the Insul-Bright to be the same size as the pot holder pieces that I would be working with. Also, this Cutie fabric also comes in white as well as black as of the last time I ordered it. I think it's by Alexander Henry. It's the fabric section of Amazon. I'll make sure I put a link if there's any left. I was going to buy some more of the white, but I thought that since it's going to be used in the kitchen, it might get awful dirty, but it was the cutest little print. And since I'm making these pot holders to go along with the aprons that I made for my daughters, I thought this would be really cute. Now it's time to sandwich your fabrics. I'm going to put the base fabric wrong side up on my work table, and then I'm going to sandwich the Insul-Bright fabric in the center, and then I'm going to put my fashion fabric on the very top facing up. Now I'm going to secure them together, because what I would like to do is quilt. I'll do a little quilting on my pot holder. Not too many lines, but just enough to keep it from sagging and moving around within its binding, because I'm going to put bias binding all the way around the edge. Now I'm using a chalk pencil, and I'm also using my clear ruler in order to make lines about 2 inches apart diagonally on my pot holders. You can do this with a regular ruler. I just happen to have a lot of quilting supplies because I'm a quilter. And I put the lines just to um, help me make sure that my spacing is even and that I can use the pencil markings to guide my stitching. Now I could have made a diamond shape, but I didn't feel like that was necessary. Just one direction will give it that nice little puffiness and like authentic pot holders. Now it's off to the sewing machine to sew in place those quilting lines. I decided I was going to round the edges of my pot holders. You can do that with a soda can to mark the curved edges. You can freehand it, it's up to you. Now each one of these pot holders, in order to figure out how much bias tape to use, I counted the squares around the outside to figure out approximately how much bias tape I was going to need to go all the way around the pot holders, because I'm not really using a pattern. It's kind of my scraps. So, but I wanted one of those loops so that you could hang up your pot holder. So I measured about 3 inches. After cutting the 3-inch length that I wanted for my loop, I finger pressed it in place in half so I could kind of measure and see, does it look right with my pot holder? And it did. So now I'm going to cut off that 3-inch length, and I'm going to take it to and I need 5 of them because I had 5 pot holders, and I'm going to take it, after finger pressing it, I'm going to iron it, and I'm going to go ahead and sew it closed on the sewing machine. Now that my loop is done, I'm going to unfold one side of my double folded bias tape. I'm just going to press open one side. Alright, so press that open, and we'll get ready to attach it to the wrong side of your pot holder. To begin, fold over the very end of your bias tape so that the folded edges touch on the inside, and you're going to place it on the back of your pot holder. Alright, I hope you can see, and pin it in place. And now it's just kind of a little tedious as you pin it all the way around your pot holder. But luckily, because it is bias tape, it will curve and fit how you need it to fit. Now when you get to the very end, you're going to insert your pot holder loop facing down on the wrong side, and then you're going to pin your bias tape over that because you want to trap that loop inside the bias tape. Once you pass the initial fold that you had on your bias tape, you can clip off the end. Just make sure that bias tape goes all the way past the other one. Now you're ready to trim. Trim along the edge, but don't cut into that stitching. Now it's time to roll your bias tape to the front of your pot holder. And because it's bias, it should curve really nice for you. Also, be forgiving. If things are not exactly right and they still look good, remember this is a gift. It's gonna, the person's gonna love it. So now this is when you're going to stitch the very edge of the bias binding in place. And you're gonna iron it and pin it in place so you have the pins give you another hand, and make sure you cover that stitching that will show from the other side. Now make sure you hold that loop up so that it doesn't get caught in the stitching as you stitch around the inside of your pot holder. all done. Aren't they cute? I hope you enjoyed making these. Happy holidays.